Good morning, Code Media. It's RJ back with another video, so let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day from 2008, Upper Deck SP Legendary Cuts. An insert card called Generations Memorabilia. Obviously features two players, one from a past generation, one from the current generation at the time. And you have Mike Schmidt and Chipper Jones, two of the all-time great third basemen to ever play the game. Mike Schmidt was better. Sorry, Adam. Hope you understand. And it's a cool card. Nothing out of control, nothing really expensive, but an awesome card. And it's part of my Mike Schmidt collection. Today's random baseball item of the day. Huge backstory on this one, so I'm going to go slow on this. I'm going to put it down, let you see, kind of see what it is. So, what you have in front of you, I'm purposely only showing you the back. So, a while ago, several videos ago, I showed off a collection of starting lineup figures. These are from 1996, 12-inch tall, fully posable baseball action figures. You can see there's a facsimile baseball player who has been drawn in various poses, suggesting that the figurine inside of this box can be posed accordingly. It even says on the box, collect them all. Lou Gehrig, Ty Cobb, Cy Young, Babe Ruth. Now, two things. One is I was sad that those were the players included, not because any of those are not worthy of inclusion in such a set, but because I figure if you're going to do a little set like this, why wouldn't you just do the 5 original Hall of Fame inductees? Why wouldn't you have just done Cobb, Wagner, Johnson, Ruth, Matheson? But for whatever reason, these were the 4 that were chosen. Now, when I showed off my collection originally, the ones I'd purchased, it was 5 actually, because the one I purchased, and in fact, they're all in the same style. The box, the packaging is all exactly the same. They all came out at the same time. There were the 4 that you see in front of you, but Babe Ruth was available in 2 images. One was in the Red Sox uniform pitching, the other was in the Yankees uniform as a batter. So there were actually 5. Now, when I purchased it, because it simply said collect them all in those 4 names, I figured that was it. Turned out there was another player that they included, probably later in the year, but they still utilized the same packaging, still the same date, everything's still the same, but it was a different player. Now, who is that player? It is Honus Wagner. Again, I was thrilled because that's one more of the 5 original inductees. The other 2 would have been Mathewson and Johnson, which were not included. In fact, I'm not sure if they ever were included. I'm going to open the box in a second, but let me tell you more about the starting lineup product here. They did do a couple more issuances of other players, 12-inch posable in the late 90s. Jackie Robinson made an appearance. I think Nolan Ryan did, but other than that, I think Mickey Mantle did as well. So they didn't have the nostalgia of these guys, and I think these original ones looked a little better than the ones they made in subsequent years. But I'm going to open up the box, and something that I literally this is actually take 2 of the video that I'm doing for this, because when I opened the box and took a good look at Honus Wagner's figurine, something jumped out at me, and I was floored that I didn't catch it before. And I don't know if it was on the original listing. I'll have to double check, because I promise you, if I had seen this issue on the original listing in the picture, I would not have bought it, because it tells me there was some shenanigans going on. So when I open this box, take a moment. I'll give you a couple seconds and tell me if you can see what's wrong with this guy. Here we go. All right, there you have it. That is the figurine. And who can tell me what is inaccurate about this figurine? Give me a couple seconds. If you didn't see it, the cap on his head is a Detroit Tigers cap. It is, in fact, the cap from the Ty Cobb figurine of the same release. But this is what it looks like. It has this long history, not long history, but a little bio on Honus Wagner, who he was. I will say this: the image looks pretty darn good. They really did do a good job of capturing Honus Wagner's likeness. You can see it comes with a glove and then a ball in the background. But somebody obviously had opened this and put it back in the box, or maybe they just opened it and lost the cap. Maybe the dog chewed up the cap. I don't know what happened, but I didn't notice this until I opened it up a moment ago on a different filming video, and I was freaked out. I was like, crap, now it's this, to me, this is practically worthless. I mean, you can't have in your collection a figurine of Honus Wagner wearing a Detroit Tigers hat. It just can't be done. So I really quick went on the bay and I bought another one. I'm that glutton to make sure things are perfect. I didn't spend a lot of money. I mean, the cost of the figurine, shipping included, was less than 25 bucks. So I'm going to get another one, and when it comes, I'll show you the correct hat. But that one threw me for a loop when I realized it just a moment ago that it was, in fact, a Tigers cap that he was wearing. Very disappointed. But lesson learned. Pay more attention to those pictures in the eBay listings, right? All right. Today's trivia question, in keeping with the theme of this day in baseball history, we are now at this day in baseball history, June the 26th. On this day in baseball history, June the 26th, 1916, this Major League team wore uniforms sporting numbers on their sleeves. It was the first time any team had provided numbers on the uniforms worn by the players that in some way allowed spectators in the field or in the stands to identify the players in their scorecards. So my question to you is, what is that team? So what you're playing for, again, keeping with the theme, this is cards from my extra 2003 Topps Gallery Hall of Fame set, one manager and one former Negro League star. So believe it or not, Ernie Banks did start his career with the Kansas City Monarchs of the Negro League before moving over to the Cubs. And John McGraw, legendary manager. So every card set this week that I'm giving away is a Hall of Fame manager as well as a Hall of Fame Negro Leaguer. Although Ernie Banks was clearly elected for his Major League stats, but he was a former Negro Leaguer. So those are the cards that you can win if you send me a correct answer. Please email me. My email will be in the description below, along with the repeat of the question. You will have today and tomorrow to answer. We'll pick a winner on Sunday, all right? Good luck to everybody on that. Shout out to Hobbypalooza last weekend. It's kind of up on my screen because I'm filming this on Saturday afternoon. I'm going to redo the pan view of my thing to kind of like take your focus off of Hobbypalooza here. So, all right, today's showcase, bit of a oddball set people have seen before, but I haven't had the full set until just recently. Somebody was actually offering the full set. That's why I got it. I wasn't about to try and acquire all the cards on my own, but I have the whole set now. I want to show it off real quick. Well, it'll be real quick. Anyway, what it is the 1981 Topps scratch-off game. Here are my 4 panels of Mike Schmidt. There are 4 panels, including Mike Schmidt, that are of various players. That's why they're various panels. This is how they were sold in a pack. I can't remember how many cards came in a pack, but you would get a pack of these. It was completely separate from the baseball card issue. They also came out with Topps Super, a second run of Topps Super, which were more like 5x7. So Topps was kicking out multiple different products at the time. On the back, what you got was the back of each card had something different. So there was a how to play. There was a scorecard, so you keep score in the game. And then there was a mail-in offer. Now, there were several different mail-in offers. One was with a baseball hat. The other was a sports card locker. You see these back when we were kids. You had these little. They were kind of like plastic, like some kind of plastic wrapped around cardboard. Famous one was the Hot Wheels ones. Had that little carrying case, as we called them. This one opened up like a locker, so that's why they called it a sports card locker. There's a couple other things I'll show off on the back when I show the cards off of other offers that were happening. But this is how it came, and you would scratch off these cards because you would get a whole thing like this. So there were many. All of these scratch offs could be used to play this one game. So it makes sense that you could probably get through with just one of these. These are my Mike Schmidt panels, the way they came in the pack. On the back, the cards are numbered. Now you can see here, these are not sequentially numbered, but there were 108 cards in the set. And like I said, I now have all the cards in the set individually and separated. So I have 108 cards here. I'm going to put them over here right now, let you see them. If you see there, the one set is red, the other is green. The American League were numbered 1 through, 54, and the National League 55 through 108. So the American League came first. Different stars of the American League. Going to flip through them real quick, go through every person, show you who made the cut, who didn't make the cut. I don't think they're alphabetically, but they are fun to look at. So I'm going to show you real quick other things on the back that were not hat. Like there's the hat. They were actually giving away a ball and strike count thing if you were so inclined. You got the sports card locker, the hat. I think that might have been it. So the other thing you could have purchased, if you wanted to send in, you had to send in something. You had to send in a couple, what did it say here? So this guy, to get the ball and strike thing, you needed 90 cents and a wrapper. To get the sports card locker, you needed $5.75 plus 75 cents shipping and handling. Wow, you need a lot to get the thing. What about the hat? What did you need to get the hat? Let's see. What did you need to get a hat? There is a hat. I know I saw one. Here's a hat. To get a hat, you needed $2. What did it say? Oh, no, wait. Save $2. Oh, you could save $2. So you said $8 plus a wrapper. Wow. Craziness. The things they made you do as a kid to jump through hoops to get these things. Anyway, those were the 3 things you could buy. So let's see who made the American League team on the top scratch-off. George Brett, obviously. A lot of these come to stick together. Cecil Cooper was a lot better than people think, I believe. Reggie Jackson. Al Oliver should be a Hall of Famer. Freddie Lynn. Tony Aramis. Ben Ogilvy, fantastic brewer. Tony Perez, Hall of Famer. He was with the Red Sox at that time. Eddie Murray, Robin Yount. You see a lot of Hall of Famers. Then you got some people you don't know so much. Steve Kemp, Joe Charnaboo, hot rookie of the day. Jim Rice, Hall of Fame. Lance Parrish, although Larry is in here later on. John Mabry, Richie Zisk. Ken Singleton, I did love Ken Singleton. This one threw me. I don't recall Rod Carew in any image ever having a mustache, but here he is sporting a mustache. He reminds me in this picture a little bit of Juan Marichal, the way he looks there. So, who else we got here? Rod Carew, Rick Manning, Willie Wilson, Buddy Bell. Now, Dave Revering, I barely remember the name Dave Revering, but that's how did he make this set? Tom Packerack, Champ Summers. You do have a couple people you go, what in the world? How did he make this cut? Carney Lansford, I remember well. Lamar Johnson, Willie Aikens, Rick Cerrone, Al Bumry. Used to love Al Bumry. Bruce Bochy, not the manager, the other Bruce Bochy. Mickey Rivers, Mike Hargrove, future manager. John Castino, Chet Lemon, I got one stuck back here. Paul Molitor, Hall of Famer, there you go. Willie Randolph, Rick Burleson, Alan Trammell, Ricky Anderson, Dan Meyer, Ken Landreau, Damasco Garcia, Roy Smalley, Otto Velez. Like, where did this guy come from? I don't remember the name, Otto Velez. I don't remember that name. Sixto Lizcano, Toby Harrah. Toby Harrah, I saw a thing from MLB Network where they ranked the best players of the 70s at each position. Believe it or not, Toby Harrah was voted as the best American League second baseman of the 70s. I'm not sure if that talks about how great Toby Harrah was or how weak the position was. I just find it fascinating. Frank White, Dave Stapleton, Steve Stone, Jim Palmer, Larry Gura, Tommy John, Mike Norris, and Ed Fulmer. Those are your American League players who made it into the Topps scratch-off set. Again, if you go to the back, this should have been to the end, number 54, and it was. That was the end of number 54. Here is your National Leaguers. These guys are from the National League who made the set. Bill Buckner, Steve Garvey, Reggie Smith, Bake McBride of the Phillies, Wood, Dave Parker should be in the Hall of Fame. There's the Mike Schmidt. I don't think there's any other advertisement for anything else other than the hats and the counter. I think that was it. Yeah. All right. Let's go back to Mr. Schmidt. Mike Schmidt, Bob Horner, once of 4 home runs in a game. Pete Rose, of course. Ted Simmons, Hall of Famer, rightly so. Don't care what you say. Johnny Bench, George Foster, Gary Carter, Keith Hernandez should be a Hall of Famer. Ozzie, still with the Padres here. Dave Kingman, Dusty Baker, probably will be a Hall of Fame manager someday. Dale Murphy, borderline Hall of Famer. I don't think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Sadly, his injuries and his production fell off too sharply at the end of his career, so I don't think he is a Hall of Famer. Sorry. Ron Cey, Greg Luzinski, Lee Mazzilli, Gary Matthews eventually would be a Philly. Cesar Cedeno, Warren Cromartie. I used to love Warren Cromartie as an Expo. Steve Henderson, Ellis Valentine, had some pop in his bat. Mike Easler, I do remember Mike Easler. Gary Templeton, the guy who was traded straight up for Ozzie Smith. Jose Cruz, Dave Collins, interesting name because there was a guy named Dave Hollins who played for the Phillies a couple years after this. George Hendrick, Gene Richards, Terry Whitfield. Never heard of Terry Whitfield in my life before. So there still are some interesting players like that where how did those guys end up in this set? Here's Larry Parrish. Andre Dawson, there's the Hawk. What we got here? This guy's stuck behind Ken Griffey, not junior, but senior. Davey Lopes, Doug Flynn, Ivan DeJesus became a Philly later on. Dave Concepcion. Dave Concepcion, I think, played more games as a Red than any other player because people like Pete Rose and Tony Perez and others got traded away. But Dave Concepcion, I believe, has the all-time Reds most games played. Don't quote me on that, but anyway. John Stearns, Jerry Mumphrey, Jerry Martin was a Philly at one time. Art Howe, the Moneyball manager. Omar Moreno, Ken Reitz. No idea who Ken Reitz is. He looks a little like Dennis Eckersley there, though. Phil Garner, Jerry Royce, Steve Carlton. Yay, Steve. Jim Bibby, Steve Rogers, Tom Seaver, and Vida Blue. So there you go. That was your full set of 1981 Scott Topps scratch-off game card team members, or people who made it into that set. Released in 1981 as a game. Delivered, like I said, in 3-card perforated panels. And probably you can find some unopened packs. Somebody's got a case of them out there somewhere, I'm sure, but not that I'd want to buy them. But I'm happy to have that as a full set in my collection now. So that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed that, please consider like, subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. I really do appreciate your support as I try my best to support everybody else in this great card community. All right. Thanks for watching. Come back again on Sunday for the trivia recap, and come back on Friday for one more. Thanks for watching, and take care.